pretty cool. Trevor, I think, used Kevin over there. I'm not going to use it for today's class, but eventually I'll go ahead and use the Swiss ball for various drills. But this is going to be really, really basic. This is the type of class that if you've never done jiu-jitsu before, that's going to be my focus on this one. Bingo. Give me a second. Just make sure this volume's off so I don't have to hear myself. Go back to the Zoom. Oh, there we go. I'm also tall, so I'll make sure I'm here. But hi, everybody. Thanks for coming in and tuning into the class today. If you don't know me, my name is Gumby. I'm actually the head instructor here at Heroes Martial Arts. This is my dojo right here. And the focus of my classes is really going to go ahead and show people jiu-jitsu that haven't seen it before. Like I'm trying to attract and build a new audience to it. Or if you've been training jiu-jitsu before and you want friends to go ahead and try this out, you can go ahead and send them this stream right here or the links on the YouTube page. And you can give them some sense of idea of what we're about. The drills and the work I'm going to do today, first of all, there's no requirements other than some amount of space. I decided to wear a gi today because it gives me some sense of normalcy, given how crazy this time is right now. You don't have to have a gi for anything I'm doing, and if beforehand I'll specify if that's going on. I decided to wear one of my fancy gis that I actually never wear in class. This is the Lucky Gi Plistifier, the Maynard Keenan limited edition design ones. It's really comfortable. It's very fancy. I like this one quite a bit. However, there's so much embroidery on this that the owner of Lucky Gi, Scotty Nelson, my partner, warned me that if I train in this, it's liable to get ruined pretty quickly. So this is simply my show gi right now. At some point for solo drills, I can show stuff off the Swiss ball. I'm actually pretty fond of using drills on that. And that's something you can readily get it on. I got that on Amazon for like 20 bucks some years ago. And there's also, for a stand-in for a partner, I have Kevin, or I don't know what we call him. He's had a couple of different names, but I might use those. I might eventually get a partner. One of my main concerns, of course, is the safety of my staff. So trying to respect the quarantine, the situation at distance, et cetera, to keep everybody safe. Okay. And as I'm kind of gearing up right now, real basic explanation what Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is. It's obviously very hard to do this one solo. Some martial arts can. Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu is very much dependent on working with somebody. But the focus of mine is going to be giving you some explanations, giving you some basic drills, giving you some basic workouts, building out some of your core strength. Or let me put this another way. Can everybody benefit from Jiu-Jitsu? I would think yes. Everybody should be able to train in Jiu-Jitsu. Everybody should benefit from Jiu-Jitsu. Separate question is everybody going to be effective in Jiu-Jitsu? That's a little bit different. There's a certain level of skill that you have to develop and get there, and there's a certain physical ability that you have to build yourself up to. So there's actually two separate questions. Can I do Jiu-Jitsu? Yes, anybody can. Can I be effective at Jiu-Jitsu? That depends. But today we're going to go ahead and work on the things that make us effective in Jiu-Jitsu. Your physical capabilities. And a lot of what we do in Jiu-Jitsu is building up our core strength. The stronger your core is, the more effective you're going to be doing, not just Jiu-Jitsu, but anything. So I'm going to start off, and I've shown this on a video before, but we're going to go ahead and run this through together, or I'm going to run through, and you feel free to jump along. I'm going to do our basic warm-ups that we do in the beginning of class. I'll go a little bit slow to give you kind of the why each of these moves are important, okay? So I'm going to go with our basic routine to start off with, which will be 20 air squats, 20 push-ups, 20 parachuters. We'll move on to in the middles and we'll move on from there, okay? For the air squats, I like to have my feet a little bit wider than my shoulders. My toes can point out a little bit right here. I want to make sure my posture is good. And quick definition, posture is the alignment of shoulders and hips and how well we're kind of centered. Okay, so I'm saying I have good posture. I'm going to keep this good posture the entire time. And when I do my squat, I'm going to go ahead and bend at my knees, come down, and try to sit down at least as low as my knees while keeping my posture intact. I can do it from this angle right here. You can see I'm going to try not to run my back. I'm going to try to work my legs as I do this. Down, up. And some people will go ahead and do this holding onto their collars and coming down. Some people like to go ahead and push out. I use them interchangeably. I like to do things in sets of 20. I'll confess, like most of you, like I've done some workouts in this quarantine by myself, but probably not as much as I have. So we'll just go ahead and work those together, and I'm going to do the basic sets of 20 on this. We'll count them out together. Sit down. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right, cool. We're gonna move on to push-ups. And the big thing, I don't have to give a huge explanation on push-ups, but I want to keep my core intact when I do this, okay? So when I do this, I'll go ahead, I like my shoulders to be directly over my hands, I'll kick my legs out, okay? I'll keep a solid line in between my shoulders and my heels. When I go down, notice my core stays intact. Really the only thing that's moving physically is my arms, okay? If that's difficult, you can do what's known as a knee push-up. Instead of being on my ankles, I'll be on my knees. There's a little bit less leverage on this, a little bit more. Okay, keep your core intact, and you'll go down in the same way. Okay, I'll go ahead and do this right here, and we'll count out 20 of these together. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. Next thing are parachuters. And as I always like to explain about the parachuters, or before that, you know, jiu-jitsu, the act of doing jiu-jitsu training, working, you're going to develop a lot of core strength. Most people think about core, they think, well, I'm going to develop really strong abs. I can hold a plank position for a long time. I can hold certain positions a long time. But everything you do on the front, you better have a bit of a workout on the back, okay? You don't want to develop an imbalance. In fact, I know a lot of folks within jiu-jitsu, really high-level folks, develop major lower back problems, myself included, actually. And a lot of it has to do with that imbalance between your core and your back, or your front and your back. So this parachuter, start off here, I'm driving my hips into the mat, have my arms slightly extended. What I'll go ahead and do is lift up myself, lifting up my legs, throwing my shoulders, hips, and torso up, and hold it for a second, and we'll come back down, and you should feel that tension, should feel the exercise in your lower back. Once again, we're gonna go for a set of 20 of these. Okay, ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Okay. Next one, core. This is the front. This is the more traditional. We call these ones in the middles. What I'm going to do with an in the middle is basically do a sit-up position, do an ab crunch. We're not to come all the way up. As a matter of fact, I find traditional sit-ups to be a bit hard on my back. I'll just go ahead and start off here. Really just going to go ahead, whenever I'm on the ground, I don't want my full surface or anything. I'm really kind of focusing My hips are my small, my back. Taking a big deep breath in through my nose. And with my abdominal crunch, I'm just gonna reach up here between my feet. You don't have to grab if you don't want to right there. I'm just gonna hold this position, just holding my core tight. And I'm gonna exhale slowly through my mouth. When I run out of air, when I can't push any air out of my lungs, I'm not gonna keep going. Come back down, big deep breath in through my nose. Come back up. Repeat the process. We'll just go ahead. You can do this at your own pace. I like to do about 30 seconds of this. Big deep breath in through your nose, exhale through your mouth. Again, go at your own pace on this. There's not a right or wrong answer. You know, honestly, I can hold this position for very long periods of time, but that's not the point. Just going ahead and working to control with our breath. And honestly, this inhaling through the nose, exhaling through the mouth, we'll talk about that more as we go on. I try to keep a steady, even breath. I want to think about it until I don't have to think about it. I like keeping a steady breath on this. I think that's what makes jiu-jitsu as a physical activity different than certain other activities where you hold your breath or breathe along with your action. There's a few reasons for that, why I like to keep a steady, even breath. We'll go into that a little bit more. We'll call this a slow twitch core exercise. Your ability to hold up and be strong. Okay? Now, fast twitch core exercise. Sometimes I have to hold a position and do this for a very long time. Sometimes I have to be explosive and fast. I'll start off from the core right then. We do these ones, we call these the ups. Okay? So for my ups, I'll go ahead and start from here. I'll bring and coil myself in, bring my knees, bring my legs into myself, and I'm going to explode upwards, outwards as I do this. I want you to notice, and this is really important when you do this because I've seen this shown a bunch of different ways, that I'm very protective of my back and my spine when I do this. I don't like putting myself in positions where I get stacked, which is the defense and all that stuff. Remember, back on my part. And I don't want to develop any bad habits. So notice I'll coil myself in, going to explode outwards and upwards. I'm going up as high as I can, and I'm doing a couple of things. Number one, you'll notice as I come up, I'm keeping my chin tucked into my chest, and I'm really just bridging off the top of my shoulders right here. Okay? I don't want to push off my head and my neck if somebody drove into me. I don't want to develop a habit where somebody's going to come back into my head and my neck. The other thing when I do this, you'll notice I always keep my feet a little bit away. I'm pushing them out away from my hips. Okay? The reason why I do that is, again, I don't want to develop a habit where I get stacked. Some people call these triangle shots. I'm doing this. In my estimation, you're just setting yourself up to get really hurt down the road. And anytime I see that, I'm usually speaking out of experience, things that I did in the past. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead, make my explosions upwards and outwards. If that's difficult for you right now, keep your triceps on the mat, keep your forearms up and down, and go ahead and use that to bring yourself up. Okay? Eventually, you won't have to use that as a training wheel version. You'll be fine. We'll count out 20 of those. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Good. Now comes some neck exercises. I will never say, like, I never want to power off my head and my neck. I'm very protective of my spine. I don't want to develop some bad habits. But if you get competitive with jiu-jitsu, eventually this is going to be an activity. Sometimes your head's going to go one way, your body's going to go the other. It's usually if somebody's trying to move it that way. So I'm never going to say that a strong neck will prevent injuries, but it makes it less likely. It makes the recovery time better, but I never do anything powering off my head and my neck. So we can build up our head and neck. I'm going to lay flat on my back and I do this. Yes, no's, and maybe so's. 20 chin to chest, 20 chin to each shoulder, and then 20 ear to each shoulder. 2 equals 1 when we do this. And I'm going to try to do this set without having my head touch the mat. I've been doing this for a long time. I should be able to do this. That's not too much of a problem for me. If it's more of an issue for you, well, just do your best on this right now. There's no right or wrong answer or anything like that. But again, I'll start off on my back. 20 chin to chest. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20 chin to each shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. And then 20 ear to each shoulder. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. Cool. There's some fairly basic warm-ups. Okay, the next thing we're going to do are bridges. Now, there's a thing with jiu-jitsu, and it's not unfair to say this, that people think this is a ground fighting art. And to be fair, most of the techniques, most of the training and drilling and sparring and what most people are familiar with, the first thing we show you when you come in here are ground techniques, okay? What to do when you're on the ground, how to deal and work with it from there. I prefer to say it's not I like to be on the ground. If I got to do a fight, it's my first option. I'm not going to fall to my back and pull somebody in my guard if I got into it. It's because I know how to use the guard. If I had to say anything, I prefer to say we're more of a clinch or a grappling guard as opposed to a ground fighting guard. That's a little bit more accurate to me, but again, it's my use of knowing how to know how to use the ground, okay? The ground can be my friend, an ally. I can frame off the ground, I can push off the ground, I can derive strength off of this. I can also use the ground as a weapon. I can go ahead and smash people into the ground, collide in there. I always like to say, you know, as long as I'm connected to the ground, as long as I'm not fighting underwater or in outer space, okay, it's never just me versus my opponent. It's me in the ground versus my opponent. Or if you want to be that positive guy, it's me in the whole world versus my opponent, okay? So keeping that in mind, let's do a proper bridge right here, okay? I'm going to go ahead, my connection to the ground, okay, because it's my friend, I'm going to use it. From this position when I do the bridge is going to be from my feet. I'll pull my heels into a comfortable level of myself, okay? There's a point of diminishing returns, but generally speaking, the closer my feet are to my body, the better bridge I'll get. I want a good connection here, so I'm keeping the heels of my feet on the ground and the balls of my feet on the ground. And we don't do anything mysticism or chi or anything like that in jiu-jitsu, but I always kind of visualize that it goes from the ground to my feet, through my knees to my hips, and I'll go ahead and elevate and push off this way. Notice as I do my basic bridges right here, okay, from the ground to my feet, to my knees to my hips, I can go ahead and elevate through, that my feet stay connected to the ground, my chin is tucked into my chest, the line right now is in between my knees and my shoulders right now. I don't really like bridging or doing anything over my head and my neck because I think you're asking for an injury in that sense, okay? And as I do this, as I'm making this art, the more well connected I am to the ground, the better bridge I'll go ahead and get, okay? Go ahead and do that a few times. If you want to right now, I can do this on a big deep breath in through my nose, exhale through my mouth. I can hold this, build up my core. Quite frankly, I can hold this for a long period of time, but I'm just going to do that on breath. That's a basic bridge. Do go ahead and keep doing that a few times with me, following along. Nothing too special or unique about that within jiu-jitsu, okay? However, there's a specialized move that we call the upa that's based off of that bridge. Now, the funny thing about the name UPA is within Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, say Jiu-Jitsu went from Japan to Brazil to the United States and throughout the world, or you could say martial arts in general went from China to Japan to Brazil to the United States, or if you really, really want to go far back, you can say it went to India as moving meditations, to China, through Japan to Brazil to the United States to the rest of the world. And along the way, a lot of things got named different things, like things be spoken in different languages, names get changed, forgotten, lost, renamed, etc., etc. As far as the UPA goes, UPA, that's a pretty universal term. Like any jiu-jitsu studio, any martial arts place around the world will be familiar with this move if they know jiu-jitsu, if they're claiming to do any kind of Brazilian jiu-jitsu. So this is a fairly common move. So when I do my UPA, the difference between this and a normal bridge, so I'm bringing my feet in close to my body. I'm going to go from the ground through my feet, through my knees, through my hips. Now watch, I'm going to go ahead and elevate over one of my shoulders, one of my collarbones. I'm reaching over to the side as I do this. Come back into the center. I like to look in the direction I'm about to go. And again, it's from the ground through my feet, through my knees, to my hips, up and over my collarbone, reaching back. And there's my UPA, there's my bridge. Okay? Two things I want you to notice about this when I do this, okay? Number one, as I do this bridge, as always, my power source is coming from the ground, through my feet, through my knees, through my hips, okay? I like to keep a solid connection when I do this, okay? Heel of my foot on the ground, ball of my foot on the ground. The other thing I want you to notice as I do these is I'm going over my collarbones, my traps. I'm going over this portion of my body, not this portion of my body, okay? You'll notice as I do this, from the ground, through my feet, through my knees, through my hips, okay, that I can actually move my arm freely right now, the bottom arm, because I'm not rolling over on this. This is a bridge, not a roll, okay? For purposes of when we do these UPAs, when we actually make this an escape, okay, that's an important distinction, because a roll is going to get you into trouble when somebody's on top of you. UPA will get you an escape, okay? And we all like to visualize, even though we're doing these solo drills, maybe you're doing this at home, maybe you got your Gumby, maybe you got a friend, okay, that I have somebody on top of me that knows what they're doing, that does not mean to leave, okay? Every time we drill, we're trying to develop good habits, okay? We're building ourselves up, but I always visualize everything that I do, that I'm dealing with somebody that does not want to move, okay? That I have the world champion of black belts, jiu-jitsu, sitting on top of me that needs to do me harm, okay? The technique has to be effective in those categories. Will I be able to pull it off? Well, when I'm dealing with somebody that knows what they're doing, that might be a different story. But from a technical standpoint, I always want the technique to work against anybody. I can't have a technique that works only on somebody that doesn't know what they're doing. I need a technique, I need a strategy, I need a game plan for somebody that knows what they're doing and needs me to do me some kind of harm. Okay? Anyway, I can talk a lot. It's a good thing when I'm by myself. We'll just go ahead and do a couple of bridges, those couple of UPAs, up and over your shoulders if you haven't done it. On your breath, we'll do maybe 30 seconds worth of those. Just to get that movement down. Again, I'm going over my collarbone. Look how my head and my neck don't touch the ground. My arms don't touch the ground. From the ground through my feet, through my knees, through my hips, up and over my collarbones. Do a few more on this side so you can see it from here. That's a basic UPA. Okay, that's one that you should be able to do with a minimum amount of room in your place. Now, as good as that is, and I prefer that as a stretch, I'll do that a lot of times to kind of help myself out, to kind of work my lower back. That's not the move that's going to go ahead and get anybody to come off, remove them from the mat, okay? The full-fledged UPA requires me to go on top. And if you have the room in your training facility, your apartment, your bedroom, your house, your gym, if you have one right there, you can try this there. If not, well, I'm going to see if I can't keep this within the square, okay? So when I make this UPA right now, okay, I'm not going to stop here. I'm going to go ahead and drive all the way through. So from the ground to my feet, through my knees, to my hips, driving through, up and over the top, and I like to gather myself into good posture. Okay? Do this from a different angle, different side right here. Starting off right here, I like to look in the direction I'm about to go. See if I can't not cross that line. See if I can't do this unified space. Okay, from the ground to my feet, to my knees, to my hips, up and over my collarbone, and gather myself up. Okay, I'm going to do this as if somebody's on top of me. It's that world champion black belt that doesn't want to move. Now, like I said, there's a lot of factors into whether that move is going to be successful or not. Okay, but it's not because I didn't do it right. The technique, from the ground to your feet, to your knees, and hips, should be correct. I'll go through. Okay, it's an explosive move. Notice when I do this again, it's got a bridge going over the collarbone. It's a bridge and not a roll. Okay, so from the ground to my feet, to my knees, to my hips, up and over, and I can explosively move over in this way. Okay, it's not a roll where I throw my legs back. Okay, there's an important distinction there, but if you just roll, you're not going anywhere. People are going to go ahead and stay on top of you. It's a bridge and I drive through. Eventually, of course, my feet are going to have to leave the ground, okay? But all of my power is being delivered as I'm pushing off of the ground right here. The second my feet leave the ground, slow motion version, I put all the power I could into that move. I'm basically going along for the ride, okay? Think of it like a jump, okay? Crouch down, Super Mario style right here. However high I'm going to get depends on how I'm pushing off the ground. The second I leave the ground, that's a terrible jump, I've got terrible knees at this point, okay? And it's a soft area, okay? But the second my feet leave the ground, I've already determined how far up I'm going to lift. I can't flap my arms and get up any higher at that point. It's all determined how I was pushing off the ground. That loop of that bridge works in the same way, okay? Connected here. Let's just do a few more. Like, you know, a lot of times I don't care about the numbers. Sometimes I like to just do my technique until I get it right, okay? Especially when I'm learning the technique, or especially when I'm going ahead and I want to work on the small details of the technique, okay? There's a broad spectrum of what's going to go ahead. I can tell you, push off the ground, go over your collarbone right here. But the more you drill moves, even these solo ones right here, the more familiar you get with things, the more patience and the time you put into and invest into this, I'll tell you it pays me dividends because you'll notice smaller details, okay? You'll notice things that work better for your body type, okay? Jiu-jitsu should be simple enough. These techniques should be basic enough that you should be able to pull them off in a wide variety of situations. There shouldn't be a lot of, how shall I say, steps to get this to work, okay? You should be able to work these in tough situations, okay? But that's not to say that there's not little details, there's not things that you can go and practice on these. As a matter of fact, I often find that the simpler things, the more subtle things, okay, easy enough to learn, much more difficult to master. Anyway, so you do this, go ahead and do a couple of bridges, come up to here. From the ground, back into my knees and hips, up and over the collarbone, and we'll gather up to here, okay? And again, when I'm gathering up to here, I'm sitting up in a good posture right now, okay? Again, not necessarily anything unique to jiu-jitsu. We'll find ourselves in the situation when we're working the guard versus where we do work on the ground a lot right here. All I'm going to define the posture is the alignment of my shoulders and my hips and how I'm rooted into the ground, okay? So right now I'm saying I'm sitting with good posture, okay? You get a side view of this, good posture, shoulders over hips, well rooted into the ground. I like to imagine my center of gravity is actually down here below the ground when I do this, and not up top here. Like I want to have a strong base. Like I think myself as like a tent spike when I do this, or an iceberg where most of my weight, most of my focus is below as opposed to up top. Okay, it's going to make me more difficult to move. It'll make me more solid. If you have a partner, you can go ahead, sitting here with a good posture. See if your partner can't push, gentle push, strong push, whatever, and knock you over at this point. I'm going to tell you, it's going to come. I really feel myself move down from my shoulders to my hips, down into the ground. I like to push the tops of my feet in the ground here where my heels are over my hips. I find this more comfortable. I know some people prefer to have what they call active toes and be on their toes. That gives them some ability to kind of spring and move from this position. I'm going to consider that one a part of personal preference on this. Okay? There's a basic level of technique that you need to know in jiu-jitsu. There's some subtle things you have to do. And some of these subtle things turns out to be a matter of personal preference based on your body type, based on your situation, based on the feelings. Okay? My personal preference for what I've been doing for years tends to be with the tops of my feet going into the mat. And I'll really kind of drive through from the ground, from my head to my shoulders, down to my palms, to my hips directly over my heels, which my tops of my feet are pushing the ground, and I'm going straight down right here. Okay? Posture is just lining shoulders over hips. Okay? Any direction my shoulders go over my hips, any kind of way I move around, I'm going to be vulnerable to going off in that direction. Okay? We'll call this a safety position right here, kind of a lockstep. Kind of if I'm not sure what's going on, I can go ahead and sit here. Good posture. Collect myself for a second, gather my thoughts, be aware of what I need to do, assess the situation, look at my opponent, and then make my consideration from there. Okay. One of the Gumbyisms is one of the things I also say, like, I never want to fight through a bad position. I want to fight out of bad positions. Okay. I want to find myself. I want to go ahead and get myself as rock solid as I possibly can. And I'll be here from this posture. Okay. So keeping this in context, this good posture where I'm sitting here. Let's do that upa again. Neck to the ground, heel my foot on the ground, ball my foot on the ground, left neck to the ground right now. And again, from the ground to my feet, to my knees, to my hips, up and over my collarbone. I flipped over, and quickly I'm going to gather myself up to a place where I'm familiar, a place where I feel safe, which is good posture, shoulders over hips, driving through here. Again, any drill that you ever do, okay, and hopefully if you're interested in this, you'll follow along with more classes, or you can go ahead and take a class when we're allowed to, or find a lot of resources on YouTube or DVD or whatever, okay? But I'll give you one of the big secrets about training and drilling. Secret number one was anything that I do, I imagine that my technique has to be good enough to pull off against somebody that knows what they're doing, that has some aggression towards me. It's going to work against a resisting opponent. That's number one, okay? Even if they're not resisting, I always visualize them, okay? Number two is every time I do a drill, okay, every time I do a movement, I have a starting situation and I have a finishing situation, okay? I want to move from safety position to safety position, okay? Just doing the move in and of itself without getting to the ending isn't all that useful to me. Or if you think about it in gymnastics terms, okay, I watch it every 4 years along with everybody else at the Summer Olympics, which obviously got postponed. You can flip and go through the air and do all the spectacular stuff all you want, but if you don't stick your landing, you're going to be at a major deduction on this, okay? I can do the move, I can make this as spectacular as I want to when I do this in jiu-jitsu, but if I don't stick my landing, if I don't have a final finishing spot, then that move wasn't well done. Always start from a safety position, always end in a safety position, a position of strength and safety to maybe even strength and domination depending on the move. Okay, so far so good. Everybody's on mute right now. Hopefully you're out there and getting something out of this. I'm trying to throw some nuggets of wisdom out on this. Let's go with another move right here. Okay, this one I didn't put on some of the videos right there. Our basic shrimp, ebby, snake, hip escape, elbow escape. Whereas the UPA pretty universally has the same name in any academy you'll ever go to, any martial arts school you go to. There's a lot of different names for this one, but it is a fundamental variation, a fundamental movement of the technique, okay? And it's one that we can drill solo too, okay? I'm gonna start off with this move on my back, okay? Hands to my side and keep it tight, okay? Because I'm gonna go ahead. Something else I'll tell you right now, I forgot to mention, any technique, any position that I do, I run through a couple of things in my head. Number one is safety first, then position, then finish, okay? You can go back and look at some of my explanations of jiu-jitsu on some YouTube channel or whatnot. The essence of what jiu-jitsu is safety first, then position, then finish, okay? I always look at life, I actually deal with life that way, but I always look at my jiu-jitsu through that angle. The other thing that I always go ahead and do is any position, any technique, anything I'm asked to do, for my own kind of classifications, like what is my core strength, then legs, then arms. I always run through that rotation. Core strength, then legs, then arms, okay? What does my core have to do? It should be the strongest part of my body. What do my legs do next, okay? because the next arm is part of my body, and I'm not saying your arms are weak, but in comparison to this chain between your legs, between your core and your legs, it is the weak link of the chain, okay? So I always go through that order whenever I do anything, core, then legs, then arms, okay? But eventually we want to be coordinated. Everything's working together, okay? If you ever have a question, if you're not sure what you're doing, run through those checklists yourself. Safety first, then position, then finish. Core, legs, and arms, okay? And our shrimp position right here. I'm on my back, not necessarily flat on my back, but that might not be my choice depending on who's on top and where they're at. But I'll go ahead. I like to keep my chin tucked in my chest so I don't like my head relaxing against the mat. I feel a lot safer. Okay, I have my hands to my side, even though I said the hands are the last thing. But here are my core, it's holding tight. I'm going to bring one leg up and connect to the ground. Heel of my foot on the ground, ball of my foot on the ground. Okay, this is going to be the anchor point. This is what's going to make me strong. This is how I'm connecting to earth. Again, it's not just me versus my opponent. It's me connecting to the ground versus my opponents. Okay, now that I've done that, I'm going to go ahead and turn to my side. And as I turn to my side, I turn to the side of the straight leg. I want you to notice two things. Number one, my straight leg, I'm turning so my toes are pointing towards the ground. I'm on the side of my body right now. But at the same time I'm on my side right now, you notice that my leg that I connect to the ground, it really didn't move. My knee's still kind of directed up towards the sky. My heel of my foot and the ball of my foot still stay well connected to the ground. Okay, now that I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of motions right now. I'm going to do my bent. I'm going to push with my bent leg, scoot my hips back. I'm going to go ahead and pull my knee to my chest. So I'll go ahead, connect right here. Push with my bent leg, scoot my hips back, pull my knee to my chest. Okay? Come back. Opposite side right now. I'm going to connect, heel of my foot on the ground, ball of my foot on the ground. I'm going to turn to my side, toes pointing towards the ground. I'm on my side right now. Okay? And whichever direction your toes go or your knees going to go, I want you to notice when I pull my knee into my chest when I do this, push with my back leg, scoot my hips back, pull my knee to the chest. The bottom leg stays low. Right now, when we do this drill, again, it probably won't make a difference, but sometimes those little details are going to make a big difference when you have somebody that's resisting your technique. When somebody's going ahead, this is based off of an escape after all, and I'm assuming that somebody's on top of you that doesn't actually want you to escape. Okay, so that little detail of having my toes come to the ground is going to be helpful. So connect to the ground, heel of my foot on the ground, ball of my foot on the ground, turn to my side, toes pointing to the ground, push my bent leg, scoot my back, pull my knee to my chest, and scoot it back a little bit. Now, I'm going to make the assumption that you're not in an academy, you don't have miles of mat space to do this. Okay, so we're going to do a slight modification I usually say on this one right here. Okay, a way of drilling this is perfectly correct. That will allow you to do this in a minimal amount of space. Okay. So when I go ahead and drill this one right now, heel my foot on the ground, ball on the ground, turn to the side, I'll go ahead, when I push off the ground, instead of just using this to scoot my hips back, I will actually use this to lift my hips up a little bit right now. I'm just on my shoulder at this point. Okay. There's very little surface area on the ground as I do this. Okay. And now when I go ahead and make my motion, push with my bent leg, scoot my hips back, pull my knee to my chest. You'll notice I still haven't scooted back here. I kind of, for lack of a better word, shrimped, but I stayed on my shoulder. I didn't actually scoot back, but I reversed my legs. Okay, now I can go ahead and switch back, heel my foot on the ground, ball my foot on the ground, turn all the way. And again, when I make this motion, instead of pushing my hips backwards, okay, as much, I'm going to go ahead, lift my hips up a little bit, toes still pointing to the ground, push with my bent leg, okay, or lift with my bent leg, scoot my hips back, put my knee to my chest, and I can go ahead and shrink back. You can see now, I'll go ahead and turn. Every time I turn, I go ahead and make sure that the leg is well connected to the ground. Every time I turn, I make sure the toes are pointing to the ground. Okay, push with my bent leg, or lift with my bent leg, sorry. Scoot my hips back, put my knee to the chest. Okay, so I'll just go back and forth. I can do that with a minimal amount of space. I can actually drill a shrimp motion. I can actually get a bit of a workout. I can actually do this. Okay. without actually going into the wall, okay? Sometimes, quite frankly, if I'm going against somebody into a wall, I might have to do that modification move, okay? Even in the classes here, I very rarely talk about defending or working off of the wall. We assume we have some space to work with, okay? Even if you compete in a tournament, it's a big open space. If you go out of bounds, they restart you, okay? For most situations. You fought in a cage, okay, and you get slammed against that wall, you're gonna have to make some modifications on that. But we don't really do cage fighting in here. So we haven't made that modification, okay? Let's just go ahead and try that shrimp motion in place, okay? The modification, the home modification, wherever you're at right there. And maybe I'll do this for about 30 seconds, okay? I don't have a timer right now. I'm just gonna assume I need to do this for a period of time. And again, sometimes I like to do as many reps as possible. Sometimes I just like to go ahead and focus if I'm doing this move right. Okay? You know, keep going, but I'll tell you, accuracy trumps speed. Accuracy and technique comes first, speed will come later. You never want speed or strength or flexibility to supplant your technique. It always has to be technique first, okay? And then, once you figure out the subtlety details of personalization, you can figure out how to use your strength, your size, your flexibility, or whatever to get that to work, okay? But these are never substitutions for technique, okay? Maybe that was 30 seconds, maybe you're following along. I'm gonna just do a few more of these so you get that feeling. And again, practice your shrimp move without having a lot of space. So I'll say next to the ground. That's how I do this. And that's one thing that will get you some experience as you do this right now. I'm very aware of my connections to the ground. What part of my body is connected to the ground at a given time is what's going to make me effective, okay? And I don't have an opponent right now to show you, but I'm also very aware of what my opponent's connections are to the ground, okay? If they're using things in the proper way, if they're not using things in the proper way, if they think they're using things in the proper way, how do I disrupt it, okay? But I always think about my connections to the ground, okay? And it gives me another point whenever I'm going ahead and using jiu-jitsu. I think about what I need to do first, okay? What are my priorities? How do I keep myself safe? How do I use my body, my legs, my arms, okay? That's always my first priority, okay? And once I have that down, once I'm very sure of where I'm at, then I can go ahead and I can look at my opponent, look at the situation. What are they doing right there? What is their purpose? How are they connected to the ground? What are they trying to do? But there's always this internal, external. What do I need to do? What do I need to do to my opponent? Okay, internal, external. Control what I can control here first, and then think about how I control my opponent. So in that sense, doing these solo drills, working out with each other right now, doing these core strength exercises and these little drills we're doing right there, the more control I have of myself, the more chance I have of controlling an opponent. Okay, because that's all what this is right now. All what jiu-jitsu is how to control somebody right there. But if I don't know how to control myself, I have zero chance of being able to control anybody else. Okay, so let's go ahead, check on the time right here. I just talked for about 45 minutes. I hope you're finding this useful. A little bit weird to speak in this space right now. Okay, a few more drills right now, a few more things. And again, I'm going kind of slow as we'll go through, as we'll build up. I don't have to do this over and over again because the whole thing is going to be on YouTube later on, or it's on YouTube right now, but the whole thing, as I'm doing this, will be streamed, and I'll watch it myself, and I'll cringe at all the mistakes that I might have made, whatnot. But there we go. Okay, I'm going to show you another little simple drill that you don't need that much space for. A little bit of footwork. Okay, a little bit of footwork. Okay. Now, again, this is one of the reasons why I don't like to say jiu-jitsu is ground fighting, or I like to say it's a grappling art. Okay, because it undermines the importance of footwork. Okay, our ability to keep our balance, our ability to go ahead and place our feet where we want us to go right there. Okay, without good footwork, your jiu-jitsu is going to be very limited. Okay, so now what I'm going to go ahead and do is I'm going to take essentially a horse stance right here. Okay, a lot of martial arts will do this. I'm standing on my side, but usually I'm looking to, or I'm standing so you can see it here. But I want you to notice as I do this, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to have my feet pointing out in opposite directions, toes going out in different directions. And I'm going to actually try to stay light on my feet right now. Easy enough since I have the mats. But in this case, I'm going on the balls of my feet right now. okay? So my knees are kind of flared out this way. I'm exaggerating a little bit on this forward stance right there. I'm on the balls of my feet, and I should be able to go ahead and kind of shift back and forth, kind of bouncing around, okay? And ordinarily, I wouldn't be looking straight here. This isn't actually all that valuable to me. If you kind of imagine here, this is the plane I'm going forward and backwards. So I'm looking in one direction right now. Okay, I'm looking to my left side right here. But you can see I'm just on the balls of my feet. I can bounce around right here, okay? You go ahead and have this movement arm right here. And you just go ahead, shift back and forth. You just get used to moving right here. So I make this turn, so this is a different angle right here. Notice as I'm moving right here, basically flexing and moving with my legs. My posture actually remains good. I'm moving my torso along with this. Just little small subtle motions right here with my shoulders over my hips and keeping this plane right here. Okay? You ever watched like some kung fu movies or watched Bruce Lee? And see him kind of having this stance, be rather light. He's just sitting here on the balls of his feet right here. We'll just go ahead and just kind of get used, kind of shift back and forth, make that movement right there. I throw some tunes on, but probably find my music obnoxious and I'll probably get a YouTube copyright strike on it. Okay? Consider it like dancing right here. Again, I'm just kind of shifting back and forth. Okay? My feet stay this way. Okay? This is important because your feet are going in the same direction. You kind of move and go this way. Not only are you going to have less effective movement when it comes to a lot of the work that we're going to do down the road, you also increase your risk of injury right here. Okay? So go ahead, keep my posture. Okay? I'm going to try to stay within the confines of the camera space right here. But what we can go ahead and do is, now that we've learned how to kind of be light on our feet, we're staying here on the balls of our feet, not driving down on our heels. I'm just going to go ahead and look in a direction right now. Okay? I'm just going to go ahead, take my shoulders forward, and keep looking that direction. I'll go ahead back. Okay? So just go ahead forward and back. Okay? Just learning how to be light on our feet. Okay? Being light on our feet. You notice when I do this, when I'm making these motions, I never want to cross my feet. If I ever come back like this, anytime your feet are crossed, you're vulnerable from a bunch of different positions. Your legs are crossed this way, you don't have a good stance, you're going to get taken down very easily. So I'm going to go ahead, keeping the stance, just going ahead, forward, and back, on the balls of our feet. Kind of keeping this simple right now. Very simple movement drill. Okay? Going ahead, I'm going towards my left side, forward and backwards. Okay? Or I'm looking over my left hand right here as I do this. But I can just as easily look over my right arm and do the same thing. And this is my right arm. I don't know whether this is mirrored or not on your sheet right here. The Zoom tends to do some strange things. Okay? Keep my posture up. Okay? I'm looking pretty much down my hand right there. If I have a tendency to look down, okay, it tends to do funny things to my weight distribution, my balance, and my weight. Okay? So I'm just moving forwards and backwards. You're on the balls of my feet. Okay? Do it here again. See it, we can move around. Get used to movement. Okay? Okay. Notice when I do this, I don't want to take huge steps out here. If I take too wide of a step, my legs start turning in a weird way. I have to balance on my heel right here. I'm very vulnerable to getting taken out right here. Those of you who are a little bit more advanced, think about the types of guards, the leg entanglements, et cetera, will happen when you start bending this way. Okay? I'm keeping this good stance. Okay? And you can get lower if I have to. Just work the stance, move back. Keeping that low stance. Back and forth that way. Just going back and forth. Okay. You will feel, oops, there we are. A lot of what we're doing, even when we're building our core, a lot of these techniques, you know, I like to develop the core on other drills, okay? I like to develop a lot of on the drills depending on my leg strength, because my core is intact and I keep this intact, okay? I never want to feel lower back pain on anything I do. If you find that you're developing lower back pain, you have sleepy bad posture right here, getting folded in half on the bottom in jiu-jitsu, you need to go ahead and reassess your technique, go back. Because if you go ahead and try to drive through that lower back pain, I can tell you, it's going to put up some big issues down the road on this. And again, whenever I say this type of stuff, I'm speaking out of experience right now. I've been doing this since '96, and I feel very fortunate and blessed to still be able on the mat to any capacity at this point. I don't take this for granted. Clearly, I've all said, never take this for granted because you don't know when you're going to be able to train again. And then coronavirus hit, okay? But I also take a look in terms of, you know, my health and my longevity, my ability to do this. And if I don't take this seriously, if I don't put in the work, if I don't build up the core, if I don't do the little details and do this type of stuff, okay, or if I don't pay attention to this, okay, I'm going to get hurt. I'm not going to be able to train any longer, okay? And again, 20-something years of doing this since 96, what, 24 years of doing this? Not everybody I started off with is in condition to be able to train, okay? And believe me, those people very, very much want to train, but they took some kind of injury, they did something bad happened to them. We didn't know much better back in the days of how we trained. We just kind of ran through and basically pushed through anything. I'm not any smarter than any of those guys or any tougher or any more durable. I don't know why. I'm allowed to continue doing this with some of my friends and compatriots aren't allowed to do this anymore because of their injuries. But it's made me really, really, really be grateful for what I have, for what I'm able to do. Okay, it's really, really, really made me like not only want to be an ambassador for jiu-jitsu because I felt that this has done so much for my life on so many different levels in terms of physical, mental, community level. And I want to be able to share jiu-jitsu in what I would consider to be the right way, okay? In a way that promotes health and longevity, while still being competitive, okay? Like, you know, I came up from an era where it was, for lack of a better word, more of a tough person art right there, okay? I still strongly believe in that, but I want to make sure that the jiu-jitsu I'm passing along, for lack of a better words, is passed along in the right way, okay? Again, it's promoting health and longevity, but I'm also realistic about it. I'm also realistic about like what you can and can't be able to do at this point right there, or like your limitations, your safety. It's a fine line that we walk. And I talk to a lot of guys out of my generation, even guys that can't do this anymore. We always have this conversation about how jiu-jitsu was back then, how jiu-jitsu is right now, okay? But I don't like to dwell in the past. I'm thinking of the future right now. And I'm thinking that all of you viewing are the future. And again, I want to make sure I'm very, very concerned that this is passed along in the right way, the way that was handed down to me by my instructors, how Grace and anybody else that started off the journey along with me should know what I'm talking about on this. Way back in the day, when I say anybody else, not only my training partners, for really anybody that started at that time, that era, when it was smaller, they're all responsible for what we're at right now. So I'm very grateful, but I'm not living in the past. I'm thinking towards the future. Like, you know, we're at this point right now, it's going to be big. Even what's going on right now, even though like we have this social distance, we can't be within 6 feet of each other. This is just a speed bump. We're going to get bigger. This is going to continue on. This is such a good thing. Okay. A couple more minutes. I'm going to lead us through some cool downs right now. Like I said, you know, this is very, very, very much more of a beginning lesson in jiu-jitsu, something you can show off to somebody who hasn't done this before, or work with somebody, or get your roommate, partner, or your significant other, or whatever. And we'll keep building along on this. Again, if you want more vigorous ones, if you want more of those, like, I've done jiu-jitsu, like I've heard all this stuff, Gumby, shut up. Trevor's class and Eastside's class, Sean's class, I believe, he's going to be talking a lot about fitness. If you want much more of a workout, check out the Nets kickboxing class tomorrow at 11 a.m. I was on the sidelines thinking, like, maybe I'll do it. Man, she kicked everybody's butt on that. Okay, if you can make it through that workout after being in quarantine for like 3 weeks, hats off to you. You're amazing. And she's going to explain a little bit more about the punches and things like that tomorrow too. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and lead us through a cool down right now. Okay, just a very quick one right now. I think these are important. I'm going to go in what's known as a cat and cow stretch. I want my shoulders directly over my hands. I want my hips over my knees. I want my back parallel to the ground. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and take a deep breath into my nose. Cow stretches, my diaphragm goes down. I fill up my lungs with as much air as possible. And the cat stretch is the exact opposite. I pull my diaphragm in, exhale through my mouth. And although I'm moving along with my breath, as I do this, I really don't want to think about my breath too much. Okay? Honestly, like if you exercise and you think about your breath, like moving with your movements, particularly if you've done powerlifting, which I know a lot of folks have, those breaths, when I see somebody kind of inhale like that, is a big tell as to what they're about to do. Okay, and if you're predictable, you're not that difficult to defend against. Okay, but right now, I'm gonna go ahead and slow it down. Big deep breath into your nose, exhale through your mouth. Inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth. We'll go ahead and do pointer dogs. So opposite arm, opposite leg, fingertip to heel. Again, stretch, I'll reach, I'll keep this long plane on my back, I'll hold out on my breath, and around, just come back in, big deep breath. Hold on to that. Pointer dogs, exhale through my mouth. Extend out, reach opposite arm, opposite leg. Switch, go back and forth a few times. Go along with your own pace, go at my pace, if that's what you want to do. It's not a right or wrong answer on this. I do find that cooling down after a workout, any workout that you do, is an important part of this. Again, the older I get, the longer I've been doing this, what I'm attributing my longevity to is have a warm up, get through your technique, have a cool down, have a start, middle, and finish anything you do. We'll go ahead and downward dog right now. That means my hips are locked, my knees are locked out, my elbows are locked out. My head just hangs down. Keep breathing. You can push your heels down. That's great. And again, as we go through these classes, I think we're going to be doing these for a number of weeks. I'll add more and more drills, and I'll reference back to this. Again, today, first day doing this, a little bit strange for me. I don't know about you. Go back. I'll have time for questions, answers, do all kinds of fun stuff. Oh, sorry, upward dog. Tops of my feet in the mat, hips in the mat, head up, shoulders back. Big deep breaths. And keep my hands on the mat, hips over heels. This is child's pose. Going to the upper body, chest, shoulders, sometimes the lower back. And just go ahead and keep breathing. Like I said, it feels good to be moving around, it feels good to be talking to folks and actually getting my geek doing stuff. It's been a while. Honestly, 20 years of doing this. I've taken some time off for injuries, but not like this. This is different. Anyway, I'm going to end this right now, or at least the YouTube portion. If you're just tuning in right now for a reason, I'm Gumby, instructor and primary owner of Heroes Martial Arts. I thank you very much for joining us. We have a lot more classes coming up and a lot more online stuff. And again, you're free to, if you're just checking in from the YouTube right now, I really appreciate you checking in. If you want the more interactive versions, you can go ahead. We're on a Zoom right now, so I can give you feedback on this. We're open for privates, virtual, of course. And those of you that are Hero students tuning in right now, we'll make sure to contact you, make sure you have that. And we're trying to, trying to keep ourselves busy, trying to keep a sense of normality, trying to do something. So yeah, but it's also for us too, and I really appreciate you tuning in. So like I said, I'm going to turn off the YouTube stream. Thanks so much. Those of you on Zoom, if you want to chat,